Well, it looks like we're live. It's a Friday afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well out there. I know I talked yesterday that I was going to spend some time with you talking about fear and stress, and fear and stress and stress and fear. And I just want to thank all of you for all of your thoughts, your feedback. I appreciate those people that have actually instant messaged me and texted me and called me. And I it's at times like this is that we really have two choices of what we're going to focus on, which is, we're going to be focused on fear or love. And what's interesting is it turns out that the stress, which is the problem that creates the fear, that's that problem, that fear actually generates stress, and it's responsible for 90% of diseases. And so we're going to really have to go and learn to let go of this fear consciousness if we really want to change. Because guys, look, it's the chronic fear itself. It's that chronic fear chemistry that's the cause of most of our problems. See, what happens is that when we change our mind, about something, we change our brain's chemistry, and then and only then do we actually become empowered to really discuss what's happening right now. So the concept really of how fear influences our behavior or our biology actually is kind of an important thing to understand. And so what we've come to understand from what's the nature of what's called epigenetics is that the composition of our blood is actually what controls our body's genetic activity, and that composition of the blood and the chemistry of the blood is it's based on really one thing, and that's our perceptions of things that we hold in our mind. And so when we start to hold this perception of fear, we actually end up releasing different types of chemistry into our blood, and what that does. Its job, where our body's so intelligent that it prepares us to protect ourselves from the fear that we believe is going to affect us. So then what happens? Well, when we hold this picture of fear, something that we're really fearful in our mind, one of the things that happens is we become immobilized. We do this to forget our body to respond to that fear. And most of us know what mobilization is. It's related to that adrenal system, that fight or flight system that's really built into our body. So what happens physiologically is that when we're experiencing fear in our mind, what this does is that this ensures that our brain releases elements such as stress hormones, such as cortisol and norepinephrine, as well as other agents that affect our immune system, such as things like histamines or cytokines. You guys heard of the cytokine storm with COVID? So what is this collective response of the chemistry of fear in our blood? Well, the answer is that it redirects all the flow of energy in our body. And understand this, that the blood is actually controlling the energy in our body, because that's where the nutrients are, right? That's where the resources are in our body. So our nervous system perceives the stress, our blood takes the nutrients. So normally when we're not in fear, the blood is more or less concentrated on our viscera, our organs. They're the organs that actually help the body grow and repair itself and to maintain itself. So when the blood energy is now being used to maintain our biology, to keep us alive, well, when we live in fear, such as that old concept of being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, the question is where do you want that blood to go? Well, since because of the adrenal systems, it helps us in that fight or flight response system. The adrenal system's going to redirect that blood into our arms and our legs. Those are the organs that we use to escape the fear. So the first thing that's going to happen when fear is present in our mind is that the stress hormones, they go right into the blood. They actually cause the blood vessels in the gut to actually shut down. And why? Because we don't need to use the energy to grow. We don't need to use it to maintain the body when we're being chased by a tiger. So when the blood vessels in the gut squeeze shut, the blood's now forced into the arms and the legs, which are necessary for fight or flight response. And because when we're in that state of fear, some people experience what's called butterflies in the stomach. And those butterflies in the stomach, well, that's literally just the physiologic consequence of stress hormones causing the blood vessels to squeeze shut in your gut and pushing the blood into your arms and your legs. So the next time you get butterflies in your stomach, just know that it's not a cute little thing, that you're having a physiologic response. And so that's where we need that energy So the number one thing when you're living in fear, you shut down growth, you shut down maintenance, and you shut down literally your body's ability to heal, repair, and regenerate. So as you prepare for this fight or flight, well, there's another effect as well. And that's when your fear hormones are put into your body. Again, we want to conserve all the energy possible to run away from that tiger. So what we end up doing is we shut down any mechanism that's not necessary for the fight or flight response system. And that's super important in regards to our immune system. And I know we're all concerned about our immune systems now, as we always should have been, but more important now. That immune system is like an internal system. It's like your internal adrenal system. The immune system like detects threats from the inside, and the system uses a lot of energy. Because if you've ever been sick, you realize how little energy you have. I mean, you might not have even had enough energy to get out of bed last time you were sick. So the significance here is important. When the stress hormones are released into your body, they connect and they conserve energy for that fight or flight response that the stress hormones and that's why the stress hormones shut down the immune system. And this is vital because the use of that energy by the immune system is so high, it would actually interfere with your fight or flight response and your survival. So a significant aspect of this is not only do we redirect blood away from our viscera, which helps to maintain the health of our body, we also inhibit our immune system as a means of surviving, because the immune system its only job is to protect the interior of our body. Now, if there's this runaway, if we run away from the saber-toothed tiger and you escape the tiger, and then the system can actually return to normal. But what happens in chronic fear like COVID, right? The fear of life, of everyday life, that we're not being supported by our family and the people around us. And the answer is this: we're chronically shutting down the maintenance of our body, which opens us up to infections. It opens us up to inflammation and all sorts of other problems. And while we're open to those infections, guess what? Now we shut down the immune system, which is protecting us from those infections. So when I say we shut down the growth of the maintenance of the body, what we're doing really when we're under stress is, because we're trying to survive on the outside, we shut down the inside. We shut down the immune system during those 10 minutes we're trying to escape from the tiger, no problem. But in this world, stress isn't a 10-minute thing. It's a 24/7, 365. And what is the consequence of a long duration, like the last 12 months of living in fear? Well, the answer is the body starts to become sick. The body starts to fall apart. And now it turns out that the problem that fear generates is actually stress is responsible, like I said earlier, to 90% of all diseases. And so while we're thinking genes are causing the disease, while we're thinking a virus is causing the disease, no, it's the consequence of the stress and the chemical consequences of shutting down growth in our body. See, the immune system, it opens up the body. When we shut down the immune system, it opens up the body for failure. And that's why disease is a result of chronic fear. So the relevance is this: we have to let go of fear. We have to recognize that most fear is just programming. Do you guys feel like you're being programmed right now? People are scaring us with beliefs that this is going to happen and that's going to happen. And when we hold those beliefs in our mind, those beliefs are going to be translated into the chemistry of stress, which then impacts the body in a very negative way. So guys, look, our consciousness needs to change. We need to stop the fear thoughts. We're going to have to switch into healthier thoughts. What's your dominant thought right now? What are you watching on TV? Because if there's a picture of fear, this is actually debilitating you. So in your mind, every time a fear pops up, if you change it into some other story, change it into some other vision, change it into visions of happiness and joy or anything else you'd rather do, because the fear itself is going to cause you to become sick. Whether it's from a virus or whether it's from heart disease, that fear is a result of your consciousness. And it's not actually real. In most cases, it's just a belief. And if we change that belief surrounding the fear, then we're going to be empowered to return back to a healthy, vital system where the blood's flowing back into the viscera and it's maintaining us, and what was inhibiting the immune system stops. And in this process, then we can have a life of full health and a life of full happiness, especially when you recognize that over 90% of diseases facing the planet are all coming from fear. Look, it's up to us. We can change the fear and to do that, you must consciously redirect that fear and change it by replacing it with what? Thoughts of love, thoughts of joy, thoughts of happiness, thoughts of health, thoughts that your body's brilliant and powerful and that you're a strong host. All of these are wonderful visions, because in that mindset, the chemistry will actually enhance your vitality. It's the chronic fear chemistry itself. That is the cause of our health problems. And we have to change our mind. You have to change your chemistry. And when you change your mind and you change your chemistry, you are going to be empowered to survive and to thrive. Look, guys, there's a reason why you're breathing here today. And I just want you to know that God isn't done with you yet. You have a purpose, and you can't accomplish that purpose or do it nearly as well if you're stressed, sick, or dead. Now that you're on this path to this, to maximize living daily, it's time to use it to start to do good. Millions of people out there are begging and pleading and praying for answers to their health and their life problems. And the answer is probably sitting right in your seat right now. It's time for you to do good. So first of all, share this message, share it with 3 other people, be the solution to them. You never know how far reaching a simple share could impact a life today or tomorrow or in the future. And also click the link and add your friends and family's email, below and sign them up for the makeover there. Look, I just want you to thank you for being part of the most important part of the movement, which is the movement to change the world. Hey guys, this is Dr. Osborne. I really look forward to talking to you today. If you need anything, just leave a comment there. Like I said, just click the link, share the message, and and just follow us. You can follow us on Discover Chiropractic. We'll make sure you get these every single day. And if you want to be part of the Discover Chiropractic Health Tribe, that'll make sure not only will you get these messages at the front of your inbox there, but you'll also be able to follow up when we're doing the challenge. All of the resources will be posted onto the Discover Chiropractic Health Tribe, and you'll be able to have access to the daily videos that will come to help support you in the challenge. All right, so this is Dr. Osborne. I just want to thank each and every one of you for being who you are, and don't forget whose you are and who you were created to be. You are brilliant and powerful. There's so much more inside of you than you can ever imagine. And remember, you're a strong host, right? Let's change the focus. We have shirts in the office that say #WTF, which stands for #What's the Focus, right? So be a strong host. And when you're a